That stuff.
Chat.
Big up, man. Listen, yeah. Let's isolate it, yeah. If we're gonna ask it in two questions, yeah, we're gonna isolate us in this game. Never seen a single game from Arsenal this season bar this game. Let's just keep it in isolation. It's a great performance, absolutely wicked. I sat there, watched it, I actually enjoyed it. There's obviously a couple of little holes you can pick in it, but by and large, when you're in elimination rounds in the Champions League and you win 7-1 away, which I think is a stat no one else has done before. It's good. It's great. That's what we're watching Arsenal for. This is fantastic. Like, I was buzzing with it today. It's been a long time since I've enjoyed really an Arsenal game. They had intent from the start, and they had intent at the finish. Wicked. The only problem is, and you boys have already touched on it, is this game isn't in isolation. This game's probably game 30 odd or whatever in the league. We also have to think about the rest of the teams in the Champions League who we face next, albeit, it's going to be an easy second leg, you'd have bloody thought. But who we face next, Madrid or Atletico, then in the league, we've been pathetic. And when you start putting out all these variables and all these other things, and when you start actually bringing all the factors of what we've got to as our recent performance, it's still massively underwhelming. And by that, I mean, everyone's going to be giddy about Odegaard. I've already seen people in some group chats that I'm in that are vulgar, and they're like joking and saying, we don't need a striker. That's how stupid some of these Arsenal fans are, that they'll see 7 goals in one game. And we're all right. We've scored 5 against Man City. We've scored 5 against Sporting Lisbon, scored 5 against West Ham. But by and large, we have struggled massively. And the reason why we are out of 2 domestic competitions and out the league, and we won't get further than the quarterfinals, people, is because we haven't got a bloody striker. Amongst many other things, we largely haven't got striker. If we had someone else in front of Kai Havertz, we'd still be in the FA Cup. If we had someone else in front of Kai Havertz, we'd still be in the Carabao Cup. Maybe. We'd still probably be 4, 5, 6 points closer in the league. We'd still maybe be in the title race. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is we just cannot keep this in isolation. And the reason why some people maybe will just go, how can you be so negative, or how can you be moaning, or how can you be doing this after a 7-1 win? Yes, do you know what? It's excellent. Tonight, that's great. I'll forget about it in about 45 minutes, because when I wake up tomorrow, I couldn't really give that much of a toss about this performance, if I'm being honest with you. Wicked. We'll get through, but then it's all about what do you think about Madrid or Atletico? Then you're like, you're back down to reality. Against them two, we'll either be outclassed by Real Madrid or out-tacticked by Atletico. This is just a reality. This isn't just us being negative. This isn't us being unrealistic. Atletico, look at what we've done when we faced Inter. Inzaghi absolutely took the piss tactically out of Arteta. Do you think Simeone won't do that if we play Atletico over 2 legs? Are you telling me that our defence, which everyone says is great, well, I worry about it a little bit because the team isn't really playing that well. You telling me that they're going to be able to deal with Mbappe, Rodrigo, Vinny, and co, and their midfield? Maybe they would, maybe they won't. But listen, when you start factoring in everything, there's, okay, we can enjoy the day, but let's not forget tomorrow's a new day. I don't care about today, tomorrow. I don't. All I care about is tomorrow. Will this performance bring us a bit of good sort of fortune against Manchester United? I bloody hope so. But you know what? We haven't scored 3 away at Manchester United in God knows how long. We very often score 2 away at Manchester United. So I don't know where I always say, we're going to absolutely spank Manchester United now. That's now. I don't give a toss about this game. Now I'm thinking about Manchester United. And I'll tell you what, we're not bloody good at Old Trafford. We are not. And you know what? Arsenal are the prime and perfect team to play against. Like a Manchester United who have been pathetic under Amorim. They just have. It is what it is. But you know what? Arsenal are the best team to play against. If you want to save your season or turn it around, a big win against Arsenal, we are the absolute team you want to play. And, I just want, buzzing, 7-1. Go do it at Old Trafford. Go do it against Chelsea. Go spank PSV again. And if you're going to play Atletico or you're going to play Real Madrid, whatever one it is, go and beat them 1 or 2 or get a good result. That's what I want to see. Buzzing today, but you know what? We want about consistency. And from the start of this season, we have not been consistent in any way, shape or form in any bloody competition whatsoever. Because the Champions League, all right, we're somewhat consistent in that, but this is knockout now. This is knockout. Buzzing about today, we will get through. But now we're going to play the big boys. Granted, we played Porto last year and we made a pig's ear of it. Now we've got through this. Last 16, buzzing. Last 8, now you play the big boys in the last 8, unless you get a double lucky draw. We haven't got a double lucky draw. We'll see where we are when we play the big boys. And I just worry about it. Sorry to, knock everyone a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really sort of all for that. But let's get to reality. Today was the exception to the rule. We've been shit all fucking season. Shit all season. Us on this panel, Natsa, I know you, Rashid, legend, Northside, and you're world-class fucking chat. We all not stupid. We know that what's coming. We know what's coming. And it's worrying. Like, buzzing for today, but let's just not get all giddy about it. Do you know what I mean? Because we're going to be back down to earth at Old Trafford when we fucking stick the place out. And they probably will come away with a 1-0 win somehow, because they always do. Sorry for the rant, Natsa, I'm sure you want to go. But buzzing.
No,
annoying.
There's nothing that you said I can debate. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Absolute facts, bro. Like, this is the thing. Like, we can sit here and praise a good performance. Yeah, but we can isolate the performance, say that's great, but look at the whole picture, and that's the whole season so far. It's not been good enough. There's a reason why a lot of people have turned. And don't let this performance blind you into we're back or we're going to do something. In reality, we're not going to really be doing anything. You know what I mean? But no, I completely hear that. Natstar, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, big up everyone. Northside Rashid, Aaron, big up the chat. Thanks for having me on again as always. Much appreciated. Yeah, man. That was a really good performance tonight. Yeah, man. That was a really good performance tonight. Whether it's isolation or not, I was pleased. More so that we came together as a team. We played as a team. There was more like fluidity. Like even parts of the first half, obviously the second half was much better. And, the fact that we scored like 4 extra goals in the second half was a testament to that. But let's address the elephant in the room, right? I do not want to see Calafiore, the sweet prince at left back for the rest of the season. It is done. Play him up front. Play him left wing or left forward, or don't play him at all. I don't care. I don't even think Moreno was that great tonight. I know he scored, and it was a very good goal, but I don't think he was that good tonight. We didn't even really need it. Let's be real. You think if Calafiore was starting up front tonight, that we wouldn't have scored 7? We might have actually scored 8 or 9 because the guy can actually finish. He's been misprofiled. Another one yet again. And then you got Ødegaard who scores 2. On the other hand, gets fucking player of the match. Like, what are we doing here? What's going on, people? Like, I don't get it, mate. I really don't. Like, but again, it's the same thing with too many of our fan base, right? We get a win like this tonight, and all the Forests 0-0, West Ham 1-0, all the other games we've lost this season, Newcastle in the League Cup. Exactly, Rashid. Brushed under the goddamn carpet every single time. They never learn. They can say we're through. We're saying we're through. I'm saying we're through, right? But when we get to the quarterfinals, and it's not a case of if now, it's when, because we should play that reserve. We should play our reserves against PSV at home. I don't want to see the likes of Rice. I don't want to see Timber starting. I don't want to see our centre-back starting. Put Kivior and whoever else you can muster up. I'd just be like, fuck it, play Zinchenko as centre-back at this point. Like I don't even care. Even if we lose 4-0, we're still through, basically. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the quarterfinals, whether it's Real or Atletico Madrid, that will be the test. Because this manager has shown that when the pressure is on, he can't deliver. This was a perfect night for him and the team. But no pressure, and we deliver.
That's when they say, sorry to...
No, it's all good.
That's when they'll say we have 5 red cards. Well, sorry, we had injuries. That's why we couldn't play against the Real Madrid. That's when they'll come and say that.
So but it wasn't an issue tonight. But that's the thing. It wasn't an issue tonight, but it will be an issue. I'm not hearing that bullshit, bro. Like, I know, obviously, you know where I'm coming from. I know where you're coming from, Aaron, North as well. Yeah. But here's the thing, right? This manager, time and time again, when he's under the cosh, he does not change anything. And if he does, it's too late. It's deer in the headlights. That is exactly what it is.
That's
You know,
do you not think this is mad though? That we're like, is 2 summer signings, Mourinho and Calafiori. We're like, oh, I don't know which one we should play up front. That's fucking batshit, man. One of them's a shit central defensive midfielder, and one of them's a shit centre back that's playing left back really badly. Like, and we're like, I don't know who to have up front. That
I know who I want up front.
Isolated as a phrase,
I think you all know who I want
the
up front.
failures as a transfer window. That in itself, that just goes to show how batshit crazy this summer was, and that's what's ruined us ultimately.
They will do it.
To your point, even this season, yeah. Like, how many times has Newcastle already this season got the best of us this season, and he struggled to overcome that? Every 3 times already this season, bro. Do you know what I mean? And this is where we question this manager. Like, you can't figure out how to beat Newcastle in 3 attempts this season, and then we're going to go into the Champions League where you need to better the team in 2 legs. I'm not seeing you being tactically able enough to get us over the line. Newcastle, we only had Saka out one of the games, and we lost that game. The Man United game, we only had Saka out. The rest of the team was available. We lost that game. Fulham, we only had Saliba and Partey out. We drew that game. These are games that we dropped points. You know what I'm saying? Villa, we only had Ben White and Saka out and Partey, and we drew that game. Everton, we drew that game with Partey and Ben White out. Do you know what I'm saying? So you look at the games that we've dropped points, and it just seems like, bro, this manager can't figure it out with a lot of them just having Saka out. Like, not every game that we dropped points did we have multiple players out. A lot of them we just had mainly Saka and a defensive player out, and we've struggled. So just based on that, you look at it and you think, rah, like, he ain't gonna have Saka back for the Real Madrid or the Atletico game. What are you gonna do? And even if you do rush Saka back, what version of Saka are we gonna have? A player that's been out for weeks, for months, a player that needs to pick up form, and straight away you're gonna put him in a big Champions League game up against a European elite and expected him to be at top form. We're gonna need a 10 out of 10 performance from the whole team to even stand a chance. To even try and do something.
And when was the last time that's happened, Northside? That's the thing. When is the last time that has happened, whoever we play? I'll say this year, Arteta is a flat track bully, innit? Choice of like 2 questions.
This performance makes it worse for the club, yeah? Because now we're looking at a performance to see how well you guys can play without Saka, without Havertz, without all these players. We've seen how well you can play. And yes, of course, the team ain't going to win 7-1 every single game, but we're talking about level of performance. Yeah. So now, when this team drops level, then it's going to be why? Because you can't say no Saka, you can't say no Havertz, because you guys played like this against PSV without a Saka, without Havertz, without Martinelli, without all these players you man are making excuses for. So you guys have shown that you can turn up when you feel like it, because there's pressure on. Well, or there's been, you guys have been questioned as to where this project's going. We don't want to hear no excuses. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we already know and we already expect that we're not going to be able to beat Atletico or Real Madrid. But if we don't see this level of performance, we will be referring to this game saying, well, where was the effort that you put in against PSV? Where was that? And like I said, let me repeat myself. I'm not saying that I expect you guys to beat Real Madrid or Atletico 7-1. I'm talking about level of performance by most of these players today. We're expecting that in the next round. And we're expecting that to the end of the season, matter of fact, because the fact that we're 13 points behind Liverpool is a disgrace within itself. This is the performance we expect at the end of the season. Don't want to hear about no injuries. Don't want to hear about nothing about, but rotation of their tide. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. You man were already bottling the league at the start of the season, being all over the place. Even when Saka was available, you man were taking a piss. Don't talk to me about you lot are tired. You know what I'm saying? This performance now will be used against you when the level drops.